Okay, guys, so hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of Ninja News. I am Ninja Andrew, and with me as always is...
Ninja Misty.
And we are here to bring you another dose of your daily gaming news. And today's topic is going to be... Well, it's actually, I guess it's not news. It's just more of a topic we're going to discuss, isn't it?
Yes.
But, microtransactions, micro DLC, and seasons passes, because, you know, that's a topic everybody loves to talk about. Woot, or hates, because it sucks. Yes. So, I guess we could just start off by laying out sort of like what our feelings are on the subject, you know? Sort of let people know where we stand on the issue and take it from there. So, like, what are your feelings on, I guess we'll go down the list. So, microtransactions. What are your feelings on when a game has microtransactions?
Well, for me, I mean, it really comes down to what are they offering me. If it's something that I feel should be part of the main game to begin with, then I feel like I'm being ripped off.
Yes.
But if it's something cool like a costume, or let's use GCUO as an example. Sure. If I want to go into the store, you know, like back in the day when you could buy cosmic hands.
That's right.
Or, you know, whatever the costume piece now, you know, if you want to go and buy an aura for your character, something like that, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem spending my money like that.
Right.
If, however,
yes.
since we are in Dying Light, I will use that as an example. I have the Seasons Pass for this game.
Which was how much?
I think it was like $20. Okay. I mean, that's $25, okay. Something like that. You know, your standard Seasons Pass price. And the first little DLC, and I guess this would kind of parlay into the micro DLC,
right.
But it also has, for this game, it's kind of unique because it's micro DLC and microtransaction all kind of rolled into one.
That's right.
Because it gives you two additional missions. You can see one that's over there under my mini-map, the Holy Year Tunnel, where it's two quarantine zones. And if you've played any real large part of this game, you've gone into the quarantine zones, and it probably didn't take you that long to clear them out.
That's right.
So that really felt like two things that could have been included in the game already. And then you've got a bunch of different costumes. You can't see what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the ninja costume, which that's great, but
it's not available separately. You have to buy the whole package all at once. And then, right. So if you really only wanted the ninja costume, it's sort of been all bundled together. And that's, I guess, it sort of leads us into the next little segment, which is like micro DLCs, which is a new phenomenon as far as I'm concerned, which is what everybody's trying to do nowadays, which is that, like, take Dying Light, for example. So Misty says she's paid $20 for... or $25. I'm not sure if it's 20 or 29 or whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was 30.
I think it was. Okay.
I think it was $20.
Okay. Because, like, you know, a lot of games nowadays will do like a $30 DLC or a $15.99 DLC or whatever. You know what I mean? So 20 is a little bit, you know, of an odd number, anyways. But
like I said, it may have been 25. Because right. Then you look at the packs, they're like $5 a piece so far. It's like 5, 10, 15, 20. So it's probably, I don't know, people. Go to the store.
Yeah, exactly.
And look it up.
But essentially what we're trying to get at is that, like, what the companies are doing now is that instead of giving you microtransactions for, like, the costumes or actual DLC packages where everything is all bundled together, it's like, hey, guys, we're going to split all of that up into smaller packages. So it, like, you're not even getting the same old DLC, you're now getting micro DLC. And the micro DLC, because we split it up, instead of charging, say, the $15.99 that we would have charged for this whole package, we're now going to up the price. We're going to say, oh, each of these individually is now worth $5.99. Instead of the whole thing altogether just being worth, you know what I mean? So it's like, it only raises the price by a couple bucks, which, like, you could argue, like, in some ways is, you know, covering costs of development and all that stuff. But it's like, especially for a game like Dying Light, where it's like, they want you to buy the Season's Pass, and then the content that you get is just, it's so paltry by comparison to what, like, DLCs used to be like back in the day. Like, it used to be like, you'd wait, you know, a few months after the game would come out, there would be like a DLC pack that would be like between $5 and $10, and that DLC pack would add, like, you know, another, like, you know, so many hours of gameplay onto the game. And, like, I see it coming in down the pipeline with the what's the horde mode, not horde mode, arena, or whatever it is that they're adding.
Right.
And, like, that'll be cool and everything, but it's kind of like everything else that they've given us in between now and then doesn't really, to me, justify the overall price. You know, like, sure, it's some nice extras and stuff that you wouldn't have, but, like, to force people to sort of either buy, you know what I mean, either buy the whole pack or you buy the Season's Pass. You can't just buy stuff individually. And, you know, it's kind of a shady practice, in my opinion, because it's taking what used to be like a quality sort of way of doing things, where you would be guaranteed that if you were going to get a DLC, that at least it was going to have some quality to it, whereas now it's kind of like, oh, you know, we added 2 extra rooms for you. Ta-da! Please pay us $10 or $5 or whatever it happens to be. Or we added an extra costume. Pay us $5. You know? And, like, I don't know. Like, my opinion on microtransactions is, like, yeah, like, I'm fine with spending the money as long as it's something that, like, if it's cosmetic, if it's something that I don't feel like is going to affect gameplay or something, especially as well, because, like, it depends. If it's like I've spent $10 and I get a whole DLC thing and a new weapon, and the new weapon makes everything really cool, and you gotta have that DLC to have that weapon, I don't mind that so much. But, like, another example is, like, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And I know that this is what they've been doing since the beginning with zombies, which is that, like, every couple months or so they'll bring out another zombies map and whatever. And it keeps the game going, keeps interest in zombies going and all that. But it's like, as the player, you don't want to just go in and have your one map from the DLC. You know? Because then you go in, you play the one map, you beat it, you do everything you're supposed to do on it, and then you're like, well, okay, I guess I'm waiting for the next one, you know what I mean? And, like, as Misty was saying earlier today, that it's like, compare that with, like, last gen Red Dead Redemption and the Undead Nightmare, where it's like, they waited, they collected everything, they put it all together, they polished it up, and then they gave it out and charged you a bit of a higher price, but it was quality. It was worth the extra money for that experience. You know?
It was a whole new experience.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to play through the storyline, having Undead Nightmare, you felt like you were getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the thing, is sometimes you feel like you're not getting your money's worth. Sometimes you do. You know, sometimes something will come out.
You know?
So it's not all just, you know, sitting here bitching and moaning. It's like there are... I don't, let me put it this way. I don't have a problem spending my money on video games.
Right. Exactly. And, like, I think that it's, I just don't like when I see, like, a DLC, or especially when I see a Season's Pass. If I see a Season's Pass and I look at the content and I sort of tally up in my head, hey, okay, like, if this was all separate, how much would I really be willing to pay for this stuff? And it's like, you know what I mean? If the value dollar-wise isn't there for me, like, there's no incentive to buy whatever the DLC is. If the dollar value, I feel, is there for me, then I'm all for it, you know?
You know, I think the first time that I really remember seeing Seasons Pass, or that being kind of pushed on me at GameStop, was with Assassin's Creed 3.
Okay.
I think that, you know, is kind of where it stands out in my head as being like, okay, that's where it really started kind of picking up. Now, what I'll say about the Assassin's Creed games is that they do give you, a decent amount of content.
Yeah.
When they release new, kind of little episodes or storylines.
Although that is a good example, because I'm personally one of the people that feel like that sometimes you get your money's worth and sometimes it's a little bit more shaky with, you know what I mean? Just when it's like, sometimes when you're paying $5 for a mission that has like maybe 3 segments in it and you're able to get through that fairly quickly. Sometimes it's like, well, there's a lot of work put into it. It looked really good and everything, but, am I really getting $5 worth of mission out of that? You know
right.
what I mean? Whereas, like, when you look at something like, I'm going to go back to my old favorites of, like, Skyrim and Fallout and stuff like that, and it's like they put the DLC out as a package, with a bunch of stuff in it for you to go and collect, and a bunch of new armor, new missions, the whole lot. And it's like, yes, they charge you a decent amount for it, but it's like, also, a year down the road or whatever, you can buy the Game of the Year edition that has everything included for like $39. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, like, that's an amazing deal for the game plus all of the DLC. So it's like, I think you just have to sort of look at, what's being offered and how important it is for you to get that and when it's important for you to get that. Because often people don't think about that DLC also goes on sale. You know what I mean? Or you'll have like a 15% off over everything in the PSN store. You know what I mean? And that might be a good time to go and pick up some of the DLC, you know what I mean, that you weren't necessarily wanting to spend full dollar on, so...
Right.
Just things to think about, guys, because the real thing is that if you just pay your money into the system without really thinking about it or caring about what happens to it, then it just tells the company that it's okay to do this. It's okay to, instead of making DLC, cut it up into little groups and charge you way too much for it, And I don't think that's something that we want to encourage as a community. So, keep that one under your hats and, let us know what you think. Oh, that was freaking epic, Misty. I think you have the, it's April 1st today, guys, and it's like April Fool's controls on the game. So, your kicks, punches and stuff do extra damage, and like when Misty kicks them, it looks hilarious on my screen.
Nice.
They're doing some like air breakdancing and stuff here, Misty. I don't know if there we go.
Yep.
Get down. Well, thank you for joining us, guys. We hope that you found this entertaining or educational or enlightening or something along those lines. And, please join us again next time. And, Misty, do you want to sign us out?
Sure. Like, subscribe, comments, questions? Got any hot button topics you want to discuss? Let us know, and join us next time for... news and opinions on DorkNinjaGaming. Bye.